G'day guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be flying with Jetstar Japan from up here in Sapporo down to Tokyo Narita. Now I have flown Jetstar Japan once before, about exactly a year ago, from Osaka up to Narita, but I think they're a good little budget option up here. Tomorrow we're also going to be flying Peach Airlines, so I thought it's a good idea, rather than flying all these business and first class flights, fly a couple more budget options, something a bit more accessible to the general public, or what majority of people generally fly, including myself, economy, on more so a day-to-day basis. So I paid about $134 for this flight using the flex option. So yeah, I just wanted the added flexibility just in case any of my plans changed. I wanted to be able to cancel the flights or at least get a credit, swap things around, that sort of thing. So now one thing I also did with this one about 3 or 4 days ago, I increased my carry-on baggage to about 14 kilograms. Usually they only allow 7 kilograms for carry-on, but because I've got probably at least 7 to 8 kilograms for my main sort of carry-on luggage, my wheel-around one, then I've also sort of got this like pack-safe travel bag, got my laptop. I really just can't be bothered getting there and them telling me that you have to pay X amount, so I paid an extra $36 for that. So that wasn't too much of a hassle, just did that all online, quite simple and easy. But yeah, looks like it's gonna be a very beautiful day taking off from Sapporo. It's gonna be nice having a window seat again, as you would have seen from my last flight with Japan Airlines in first class, flying up here. I was on the aisle side, and the gentleman next to me decided to have the window shade down for pretty much the whole flight. So the plan for right now, in getting from in the middle of the city here to the airport, I'm gonna make my way to the main Sapporo train station, catch the JR line. It's very easy to sort of manage all that stuff over here too. It's really good. There's like English menus you can select. You know, for instance, today I'll just select Chitose International Airport, and that will get me there fine. So yeah, I think that ride should only be about 45 minutes. I'm about maybe a 20-minute walk from the train station, but I may get a lift because I don't want to bang up my luggage too much. I walked over here the other day and I feel like, yeah, I've been wheeling this bag around for years now, and I'm a little concerned about, you know, when it's bumping over these bumps and everything. So I think we'll get a lift. Only take about 5 to 10 minutes, and then 45-minute train ride, and we should still have ample time from there. Anyways, I'm gonna have some breakfast and then we'll make our way.
So just before we hop on the train and head over to the airport, I just want to say how much I really love Sapporo. It reminded me of an Adelaide in Japan, which for me is a good thing, a bit more laid back and chilled out, and somewhere I definitely want to come back to eventually. So while we're on the way to the airport, let's go over the details for today's flight. So we'll be boarding flight GK128, which is scheduled to depart Sapporo at 1:10 this afternoon and scheduled to arrive into Tokyo Narita at 2:45 PM. The Sapporo New Chitose Airport is located 50 kilometers southeast of downtown Sapporo and is the largest airport in Hokkaido, serving both domestic and international flights. The airport opened in July 1988 and handles around 23 million passengers a year, ranking it among Japan's top 5 busiest airports.
All right, I'm at the gate now. Yeah, that train ride was pretty busy in the beginning. Has a few stops on the way, but thankfully it starts to get a bit quiet towards the end. But my back was absolutely drenched in sweat, so I'm going to go to the bathroom. I might have to change my shirt. But yeah, security process was super efficient here as well. Like, just went to gate, it's like security gate F after the Jetstar area, and it was straight through. Honestly, maybe 2 minutes max, and now I'm already here at the gate, and there's another Jetstar flight, so yeah, so good so far.
Jetstar Japan are predominantly a domestic carrier, with most of its operations within Japan connecting major cities and some smaller regional destinations. Now they also fly some short international routes in Asia, for example places like China, Taiwan and the Philippines, but really the bulk remains domestic here in Japan. As of this video, they currently operate 19 Airbus A320s and 3 Airbus A321 long-range aircraft, the latter of which will generally fly the few international routes they operate. Now, I'm glad I paid the extra for my carry-on today, as they wanted me to put my laptop in my carry-on bag, so it's considered 2 pieces in total, rather than the 3 that I currently have. So when I weighed it in, it was definitely over the usual limit, so it ended up being a good call, just paying that bit of extra money to be safe here on the day. So today, I'm sitting in seat 3A, and I didn't have to pay any extra for this seat, as the bundle I picked for this flight allowed me to select an upfront seat of my choice at no extra cost. Now, the seats are the exact same as you would get on a Jetstar A320 in Australia, 17.88 inches in width and about 29 inches in pitch. The way I think about Jetstar is if it's a short flight like today, just over an hour or so, no worries, or even a couple hours, as it can be worthwhile to save the dollars. But once we're up in the air, we'll make some comparisons with other airlines in Japan and get a better perspective overall. Now, as I look out the window today, it's the first time I've actually seen a Fuji Dreams airline plane, and to be honest, I had never even heard of this airline before today, but after a quick bit of research, it looks like they're a regional airline that currently operate 15 Embraer jets to over 17 destinations within Japan. But as we're about to depart for Tokyo, let's enjoy the takeoff as we head south to the capital of Japan.
お子様の救命胴衣は緊急時にキャビンお渡しします。離陸に備え座席の背もたれ、テーブル、肘掛けSo after waiting for a couple of heavy aircraft to take off in front of us, at 1:27 PM, we're finally up and away, heading south towards Tokyo. So today, we're expecting a 1 hour and 10-minute flight, which will cover a rough distance of about 785 kilometers, or about 487 miles. Now, as for service on today's flight, it's the same as you'd expect in Australia. Cabin crew come around with prepaid meals first, followed by the general service for remaining passengers, that wish to purchase some items afterwards. Now, they did mention that the service will be in Japanese today. However, they also said if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. So as you would expect, there are multilingual crew members on board today. As Japan is an absolute tourist hotspot at the moment, I'm certainly not the only English speaker on board, and I can also hear a couple of other Aussie accents as well. The Jetstar Japan menu is of course primarily Japanese items, but nothing that's catered for some of the dietary requirements like myself being celiac, but as I've flown this airline in Japan before, I know what to expect, so it's not really any sort of disappointment for myself. So it's about time for us to make some comparisons, and to be fair, we'll look at the budget options, Jetstar and Peach Airlines. All on the same day of course, and we'll just go with the 22nd of November, a couple of months out. Now keep in mind, pricing changes year round depending on multiple factors, so this is just a small glimpse comparing from today. Now with Jetstar, they actually have quite a few options depending on the time of day, but let's go with the cheapest option. And unlike myself, I feel majority of people travel with checked baggage, so once we add that on, we're looking at least 100 Aussie dollars. Now with Peach Airlines, same day to be fair, and also flying into Tokyo Narita, you'll see this is all in Japanese yen, which we'll convert shortly, but we'll select the Peach standard as that includes one checked bag as well. So you're looking at around 10,310 yen, which converts today as $105.57 Aussie, so quite similar, but these are both evening flights, hence being the cheaper options. So you can obviously compare these against each other with different times throughout the day.
Now we are cruised at 36,000 feet, about 11,000 meters. The estimated time of arrival at Narita Airport is 2:50 p.m., which is about 5 minutes behind the schedule. Apologies for the delay of arrival. According to the information, the weather at Narita Airport is rainy and the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Expect the weather on cruise is most punctually turbulent, so when you are seated, please fasten your seatbelt for your safety. We hope that you enjoy your flight. Once again, welcome aboard. Thank you.
So what you just heard was the first officer making an announcement in English, just after he had previously did the same in Japanese just before, so I thought that was pretty cool. But as it's about 40 minutes into the flight now, we are just about to begin our descent into Narita, so we'll enjoy the landing, and once I make my way over to the hotel near the airport, we'll wrap this video up and I'll give my final thoughts there. Puffed out. Managed to get off the plane, get out Terminal 3, catch a free shuttle bus to Terminal 2, then just managed to race over here and jump on this bus. So now off to the hotel.
All right, after a bit of a mission, we've made it to the hotel room. So today's flight with Jetstar Japan. Relatively good flight, happy to be on a window seat again. That's good. In terms of the cost, I'm just trying to think, because realistically, I paid $134 for this flight. Now that's obviously including a certain like flex bundle where I could cancel and get a credit, change flights, Whereas there's obviously other bundles like I think starter packages, saver packages, these sorts of things that you can get far cheaper. And but I've just had a few flights this year where I really needed that package and I didn't have it. So thankfully I had it. I mean, I didn't have to change anything, but it's just peace of mind. So that obviously cost a bit more, plus the $36 to give me an increased luggage capacity for carry-on up to 14 kilograms. So really I paid, look, what, 134 plus 36, what's that, 170? I have no idea, quick maths, hopefully that's right. So yeah, I mean, 170 realistically for a Jetstar flight for an hour is very expensive. You can probably even get like a Japan Airlines economy flight cheaper than that. But yeah, in my instance, I had a, what was it? It was like a credit voucher left over from a few months earlier, and I just wanted to use it up. So I used it up. But yeah, usually I probably wouldn't be spending that much on a Jetstar flight myself, especially when there's no food involved. Can't even get a bottle of water for free on those flights really for Jetstar, so it is what it is. I liked the Jetstar Japan. They have the sort of the cabin outfit they're wearing. It's quite unique. It's more like a navy blue, but then it's got like this sort of, not like a fluorescent, but that orange sort of like stripy thing, the orange sort of stripes, which is quite nice. So yeah, overall not too bad. One thing I will say though is it does sort of remind me of budget travel back in Australia as well. So just going to be straight up here. It's pretty much, sometimes the cheaper things are, the more accessible they are to some people who probably don't always travel and don't have certain manners to travel. So you would think that when you come to Japan, oh, everyone's so polite, everyone. It's not always the case. There are also people here too who are not necessarily super polite. Majority of people are, they're great. I haven't had bad experiences, but I'm just saying, even when getting off the plane today, I had people's in rows behind me. I'll say I was at the window seat, I'm in row 3. Boom, I'm waiting for the people next to me to get up, they get up, boom, perfect, I'm about to get up, but then you got people trying to rush from like row 4 and 5, and I just put a stop to it. I jumped in front of a bloke and I said, nah mate, wait your turn. He probably wouldn't understand he wouldn't understand what I said anyway, but I sure had a good, yeah, I had a bit of a look at him. So yeah, you're gonna get that everywhere, I suppose. It is what it is, but I have to admit, I didn't really expect it in Japan, but yeah. Anyways guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this video flying down to Narita, Tokyo today with Jetstar Japan. Hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea if you ever come up this way, what to expect. Hopefully you don't pay as much as I did, and then hopefully you also don't really have to get any other sort of packages where you would spend more, these sorts of things. I'm just really intrigued and watching all the runway views out there now, so you can see what I'm going to be doing later on today. It's about 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and I've probably don't have to head off to about 6:30 tomorrow morning, but yeah. Anyways guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Please give it a like if you have liked the video, and if you're not subscribed and do enjoy this kind of content, please consider subscribing. Anyways guys, thanks for joining me once again. I'll catch you on the next one when we're flying Peach Airlines down to Osaka. Catch ya.